risking a journey that takes them hundreds of miles across the world in search of success and prosperity, to give their family the life they never had, a brighter future. They are the overseas Filipino workers. Overseas Filipino workers became the force of the economic growth of the Philippines throughout the years and still up to this day. Due to their massive contribution to the Philippine economy resulting from their sacrifices, they have been entitled as the modern day Filipino heroes. But when did it all start? In the early 1900s, many Filipino workers were already outside the country, such as when Filipino agricultural workers were deployed to Hawaii to satisfy the temporary labor needs in the U.S. sector in agriculture. Also, when Filipino workers got involved in various jobs around the United States, such as hotels, restaurants, sawmills, and construction, as well as the military during World War II. According to the Filipino Department of Labor and Employment, active and systematic migration of Filipinos for temporary employment began by the 1900s, when the United States government, contractors of the United States Armed Forces, and civilian agencies began recruiting Filipino to work in jobs in the construction and service sector. When Corazon Cojuangco Aquino said, "Kayo ang mga bagong bayani," in an address to domestic helpers at Hong Kong St. Margaret Church in April 1988, the government's active engagement in labor export had already entered its 14th year. The first time the phrase was used to refer to foreign labor and record. OFWs have been labeled the modern-day hero workers since then. However, do overseas Filipino workers really deserve to be called the modern-day heroes? What do you think? When we say Filipino heroes, the first thing that comes to one's mind are usually people like Jose Rizal, Andres Bonifacio, etc. Those people are known for their sacrifices and contribution to the country's independence, wherein they shed blood and intellect. Similarly to those heroes, the Filipino overseas workers showed sacrifices for life betterment that increased the growth of the Philippines economy through remittances. In 2015, a daily average of 6,092 Filipinos depart the Philippines for a job abroad. According to the Department of Labor and Employment, the Philippines became the third largest recipient of remittance money in the world. Remittances have a significant positive effect on the Philippine economy in the long run and increased by a good percentage. Many Filipino workers leave the country with an intention of life betterment and look for something the country can't provide. Despite the hardship they go through, OFWs try their best to endure the difficulties.
Isang kababayan natin ang nagpapasaklolo dahil di mano sa pagmamalupit ng kanyang amo sa Dammam, Saudi Arabia. Bukod sa pagmamalupit, hindi rin daw siya pinapakain ng maayos.
Pangasinenseng OFW na umano'y nakaranas ng pagmamalupit ng kanyang mga amo na kauwi.
Aline Nukos, one of the two Filipina domestic workers killed in the December 29th car crash near a shopping center in Singapore, comes from a Philippine province that has the most number of households in the country dependent on overseas labor for income. Overseas Filipino workers help to improve their families' lives and boost the local economy, but often with great sacrifice.
The binary scripts of modern heroism and modern slavery dissociate migrant domestic work from material condition of exploitation and risk-making workers' realities into essentialized spectacles of hyper-visible abuse and sacrifice. In so doing, they conceal or ignore other life experiences and temporalities, in particular the unspectacular routine exploitation to which migrant workers can be subjected, and the everyday practices of expertise through which they survive them can get unnoticed. Also, normalizing this heroic discourse can disregard other local workers who sacrifice as much as other OFWs, such as those who leave home and move to another city far away from their comfort, wherein some may be in a similar situation as them but don't get the same citizen benefit like the OFWs. With that being said, if we're all gonna base sacrificial as our proof to call someone a hero, then everyone is considered a hero, for each sacrifice in their own way. Correspondingly, some OFWs decide to immigrate to have betterment in life even if it takes for them to leave their citizenship behind. Therefore, we can't generalize all Filipino workers as heroes, despite the portrayal of their sacrificial acts and contribution to the economies, as most still do it for personal interest.
Many of us sacrifices for the best and better life. Let us not let ourselves be subjected for being oblivious and running away for what really matters. Everyone can be a hero through their own way. Everyone can make a change, no matter what glorious name are entitled to them. But what really matters is that we get what we deserve. Our joy, peace, or happiness, for each one of us shall have it. No matter what it takes, for this is what we deserve.